And then that's when money controls you and you don't control your money.
Linking back, what's the prompt?
I don't know.
So why'd you say Welcome to our podcast, guys. This is the Childish podcast, episode 3. And today we're going to be talking about some life stuff, ambition, mental health, and anything else you guys want to add?
Common problems that arise within like this age group.
Yeah. Facts.
Oh, and habits.
So what are you working on? Like what's the reason for working on yourself? Are you trying to be better?
Yeah, better than me from yesterday, yeah. From something like that.
Why are you working on yourself?
Well, right now, I think I'm just trying to find a way to make money. Because I think if I find that, and then, like, I'm just experimenting right now. Find something that works for me.
So what happens when you find that thing that works for you?
Then I think I'll be very happy. Seek for happiness through money.
So you think, you reckon with money is going to come happiness?
Yeah.
I did too.
You think money...
So if I give you $1 billion, you won't be happy?
I'll be happy, but I feel like it'll be temporary.
Why? Oh, temporary.
Because then I'm going to lack all meaning.
Then why don't rich people give away the money? Because it makes you sad, yeah? They'll keep the money. Let us be happy, yeah?
Nah, I don't think you can say that. Because...
Why? I think it will solve many of our problems.
New problems will also arise as well.
Yeah. But...
which could cause unhappiness. Like people trying to get closer to you. But then that means you face a bigger problem than that is you not being able to like trust anyone and build connections with anyone, because you don't know which one is coming for your genuine connection and which one is coming just for your money. That's why I think money doesn't bring happiness.
But I'd be happy to have those problems.
You'd be happy.
I have now.
I feel like you're saying that because you haven't felt those problems.
Yeah. Maybe soon I'll let you know how I feel.
I'll let you know too. We'll all let each other know.
So can we trust each other or no? You coming for my money or no?
No, I got my own money.
I might come for your money there.
But Min might come for our monsters. Because he doesn't have one yet.
You can't buy a monster.
The monster finds you.
I feel like with money won't bring you happiness, but it's how you use that money that will make you happy. So
I get that. But another thing though, I feel like money is also like such it's like a booster in every single aspect in life. So if you're sad and depressed and shit, then money will make you more sad and more depressed. Or if you're not good with yourself yet, like money is not going to make you good with yourself. You're just going to be more unsure about yourself and your meaning. You get what I mean?
Yeah. But I think... Sorry. Keep going.
But it can work both ways, you know. Say like you said, money, like if you're depressed or whatever, and then you have money, like it can make you even more depressed. Is that what you said?
Yeah. I think money makes you more... It times like 100 of your current situation.
But it could work both ways. So if you get money, like...
I think it's the reason why you're depressed.
Nah, that's...
No?
I feel like...
Because if I was sad today and someone like gave me $1 million tomorrow, I'd be smiling.
I think that's because you don't have $1 million right now.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? And us humans, we just want what we can't have. But when we do have it, it's like...
So that's my kind of sadness. I think like if someone had a different like reason why they're sad and something that money can't fix, then it doesn't matter to them, I guess.
I reckon you have to be ready for the money. Like everything's set out and everything, like know how to maintain it or like how you use it. Because like for example, if you just give a poor guy's money and then he just spends it on like, I don't know,
he's gonna be even more poor.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Even though he's gonna be temporary, like I don't know. I feel like if you have two people and you have a good person and you have a bad person, you give $1 million to both of them. A good person, you can assume that he'll give it to charity and do good things with the money, and go travel and see the world and learn shit. But you give a person the bad money, like you give a bad person $1 million, then he's just gonna use that to, I don't know, do bad shit. He's just gonna want more. And then with that money, he also has a lot of influence on people. So he'll,
Such as?
well, everyone around him is gonna wanna come close to him, and then he can use that power to get people to do shit that is bad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Say for example, he started a business, but you know his business is not ethical. He can use that money to bribe his way through to do unethical shit without being seen. That's what I was trying to say with the, I don't think money is gonna bring you happiness, even though you think it might. I feel like the best way is to be good with yourself now. Like have that full meaning, like being broke, but have all the other, like be happy like now.
Yeah.
I
You know what I
reckon
mean?
if you get money now, you'll be temporarily happy. But like if you don't have like purpose, like just purpose in life,
Yeah, purpose. Purpose is a big thing.
then you're just a guy with money, but like you're not gonna be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just gonna.
You think
Yeah.
money brings happiness?
100%. But what I really think is people who want to make money and who strive to be millionaires and all that is just they're giving purpose to their life, like a goal to achieve, like down the road, you know. Like money won't always be the be all and end all. It's just like a goal that you can like look to achieve in your life.
Do you feel
And that would bring you happiness since you achieved that goal in
But
making money. Do you know what I mean?
What's next after that?
that's what I was gonna say. I feel like money is such a shallow goal.
I reckon.
Even though like it's like deep or whatever, like yeah, you want to make $1 million, but it's like it's such a shallow goal. And I've read a lot of stories about people who've made $1 million and they're just fucking. It's not even sad and depressed, but they're just like directionless.
So
You
you
get what I
think you think most rich people are sad and they don't know where to go?
I'm not saying that. I reckon a lot of people, like majority of rich people, are happy and everything.
Yeah.
But then there's also a lot of people that are rich who aren't happy, or they can seem like they're happy.
But
Sorry, guys.
we are millionaires right now, so we haven't achieved that. We don't know what's after yet.
Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe one day in episode 1000 of the podcast.
So do you think?
I'll let you guys know how happy I am.
Do you think? So are you saying that you're not happy right now?
No, I'm pretty happy of where I am every day.
Mm.
But I think I'll
reckon-
be even more happy.
Mm.
It's just like
Yeah.
I'll be more happy if I look bigger.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
be more happy if I think.
Yeah.
But I'm
Oh, I
always
get
happy
you.
of like where I am today.
Mm.
Being grateful,
Yeah.
Gratitude.
gratitude.
Gratitude. You know.
What you want to say, man?
I think it's ups and downs, obviously.
Mm.
But like I'm not satisfied right now, obviously. But I reckon like I'm trying to be like just appreciate where I am right now and just try and enjoy life while I go, you know. Just trying to enjoy every bit of it.
I think whatever we're going through right now is like so crucial for our success, because it's gonna teach us like important lessons like relationships, friendships, how to use money, how to not use money.
I think it depends on what you value.
Mm.
Because if you value friendships a lot,
Yeah.
then like when you have the money, like you said, like the people that come after you,
Mm.
and you're scared about the relationships you create.
Mm.
So yeah,
What do you value right now?
myself.
In what way?
I don't know, like I'll
Self-
put myself first.
Self-improvement.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
You need to know what your priorities are.
yeah. I need to worry about myself first before I help other people. You know,
Mm.
because
I get that.
if I don't get to help myself first,
Yeah.
and I'm helping people, like
Yeah.
that's just not good.
What about you? What do you value right now?
Right now, just trying to self-improve. And second thing I've been worrying about is just keeping my relationships with my friends
Mm.
and like having that bond with them. Like we just kind of drifted apart right now, but with this podcast it's kind of helping us bring back our friendships. Like, it doesn't even need to be like a podcast or whatever. It's just like something you could do like weekly or like every couple of weeks, just so that you can see your friends and like hang out, talk to each other, catch up and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like seeing each other is such a big part in friendship. Like, if you don't see each other, it doesn't matter how close you were, but you slowly but surely you're gonna drift apart. What do you value?
Like my priorities,
Mm.
family's number one, and also like my well-being as well,
Yeah.
and just like my ambitions, and also like friendships that because like the people around you like shapes who you are, and like you need to get that straight. Like, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
You need to get that straight.
I'm around vapors.
What do you mean in terms of your ambition? Because
Ambitions.
it's such a big thing.
Can you define, like, make it more clear?
Do you want me to give an example?
Yeah.
So the things that I value right now is learning and trying out new experiences.
Oh yeah.
Because we're so young. We don't know, like, it's like our circle is so small right now. We already know the friends that we know, and we already know the topics and hobbies and stuff that's around us, or what other people around us do. So right now I'm trying to do, I don't know, like funny shit. Not funny shit. Like new shit.
Mm.
Yeah.
Something you never experienced before.
Yeah. Like comedy. I reckon all you guys should try comedy, man.
Why? Am I that funny?
Nah, it's not even about funny or not funny, but it's just that adrenaline. I reckon it's something that like you haven't felt for like so long. So trying out new shit, and also like learning about what makes me feel shit and what makes me feel good. Cause I used to be all trying to make money and trying to be the most successful, the most this, the most that. But I feel like I haven't found that thing yet.
I feel like it's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing.
Then why'd you stop? Or why'd you not like...
Oh, you're
prioritize
saying
it?
that like making money and all that shit is like being the best and shit is a good thing.
Not the best, but it's up there in priorities.
I still try to, but I feel like there's a deeper like, I don't know.
So you'd rather be more like happy and content?
I think to get to that riches and most successful and this and that, like, I feel like I can get there faster being happy and content.
So you feel like going through that route will get you there faster?
Yeah. Even though it might seem like not on track, but I feel like, I don't know, I think it's really important. Because on those days that like you don't feel like it,
You don't want to do it, yeah?
yeah.
Even you have to feel good to do it. Yeah?
There's not feeling good about it. It's just like I want to make sure that when I do become successful, I don't feel directionless. It's like money for
You
me.
have your purpose.
I'm starting to see it as like a byproduct. You get what I mean?
feel like I see money as
It's
a
not
tool.
the main. You see
Like
money
the
as a
toolbox,
tool.
like you were saying. I feel like it will be it will be the golden tool.
The
for
golden
me.
tool.
That's true.
For everyone, it might be, you know,
I don't think it's a golden
rusty
tool.
iron tool. I think it will be the golden tool.
I think going back to the thing with you like exploring creative spaces such as like comedy and stuff, I think that's also an example of you just like trying to find a purpose in what you want to do for your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it will be different for everyone, but like I feel like the main thing that everyone around our age is trying to achieve right now is to make money, because they don't know any better. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to
I feel like
differentiating myself.
Then,
Oh, sorry.
all good. We're still learning, guys. We're still learning. We're practicing.
feel like making money in people's eyes is what's gonna make them the most happiest right now. Like they don't know any better.
I think it's an illusion.
So you don't want the money.
Of course I want the money, but I feel like it's an illusion. Do you know what I mean?
Not really. Can you elaborate?
I think I kind of like understood that.
Go and
Yeah.
ask most successful people, like the ones you actually adore, or you actually look up to.
Yeah. I don't think they'll reply to me, but I'll try.
Yeah, but no. Let's say, for example, theoretically,
Yeah.
you went to talk to them and you asked them, yo, you know, like my main goal is like money and shit.
I think they'll support me, cause when you get the money, they have different goals now since they have the money. Like you move on. Like if you ask rich people like do you think money have like helped you, and made you more happier? I reckon like a good 90%, if not more, would say yes. But it won't be as important to them anymore because they achieved that goal that they had, and then they move on to like other things that money cannot buy, like friendship and genuine friendship.
But I reckon, like I reckon working on friendships and shit right now, and then like getting that money later I feel like it's much more rewarding.
So you're chasing after that reward feeling.
Nah, it's like more like we're talking about priorities, yeah.
Yeah.
And you said your priority is like money and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like when your priorities is more about your well-being, your friendships, your relationships, and your like what the things that you enjoy, I feel like money just kind of just comes.
Just can't
You get what I
do
mean?
that.
Not through like through that. Whereas if you just chase money is like it's like a tool.
Yeah, like I
That
said,
can get
the golden tool.
no, but yeah, I'm repeating what you're saying.
Yeah.
Money is a tool, so you're chasing a tool instead of chasing like I don't know how to like mix it in with this analogy, but
yeah. It's alright.
I feel like money is less important than finding out the things that you like doing and other things like friendship, relationships, and
Do you have any
learning and everything.
Any input, man?
Do you agree, disagree, different idea?
I would say, for example, if I make 50K from the things that I like, comparing to making 75K
Facts.
doing something I don't like,
Facts.
I would choose 50K.
That's what I'm trying to say. Would you choose the 50K or the 75K?
Yeah, but that's money.
Let's make it 100.
Mm.
That's making money. We're not even making 50K a month.
No,
Let's
we're
say
talking about doing what
theoretically.
we like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Mm.
But I don't know. I wouldn't completely agree. Like if someone told me, or if God told me, you're gonna get rich by selling rocks,
Yeah.
I would be so fascinated by rocks. I would just like, even if I don't
Because
like
of the money. Even if you didn't like rocks in the first place.
yeah, let's say I have to like study about cement and rocks. I'll become like an expert at it. Like, I would dedicate my whole life to rocks. I don't give a fuck.
So, I don't know what I'm trying. What I just understood from you is that wherever the money is, that's where you are.
Yeah.
That's why I think that's.
You think it's bad?
I don't think anything is bad.
I think
I think
it's
that's
like-
I
good
think it's
in the
exactly-
short term, but later on you will realize
Exactly.
like, what the fuck am I doing?
I think balance also comes into play.
Mm.
Cause like, I feel like you guys are viewing me as like money 100% of the time.
Mm.
I'll be more like 60-70%, and the other 30-40 I'll worry about like the other stuff. That would make me happy, not just rocks and cement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I reckon like when we're young, like this, like just our age right now. Of course, we have to be money driven because like we have dreams and ambitions and all that.
To become
So-
wealthy.
Yeah, so we would do a lot of things for money, but I reckon when you receive that money, like you need to like know how to know when it's work and when it's time to like
Mm.
chill out
Yeah.
and like enjoy. You know
But
what I'm
that's
saying?
like
Rather than working non-stop and then you start to miss out on a lot of things like family
yeah.
and shit. You know what I'm
Obviously,
saying?
yeah. Yeah.
But right now, it's not wrong to think that money is everything.
Yeah,
like,
100%. I
we're
think about
fucking
money
driven.
too.
You know what I'm saying? We have to get that to get what we want in the future. But when you get that type of money, you need to start thinking like, okay, I need to do this for myself. Like, I need to throw myself out there and see what I like and what are my purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Money is not everything, but it's very crucial in this part of life right now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, and also,
Yeah.
well, you know, how you said you want to like experience a lot of things and like
Yeah.
experiment. I feel like money unlocks a lot of that too.
It's like a
you,
key.
you have a lot of opportunities that will arise, and you can experiment and experience what you want. You know?
Yeah. So how would you know how you were talking about the balance thing?
Yeah.
Like how do you balance it?
As in what?
like so let's say for example your ambition is the goal that you want, like
Yeah.
where you want to be in the future, and you're
Yeah.
working towards that, and then there's life, which has all the other shit, like, you know,
Like
well-being,
Yeah.
friends, relationships,
Yeah.
like hobbies and everything like that. How do you balance that?
Like,
How do you, like, what's a sign that tells you like, yo, you're spending too much time on life, or you're spending too much time on ambition?
I think the too much is like when friends and family, or family mostly, gets in the when money gets in the way of family,
Gets in the way, like, what do you...
of like relationships. Like, you say like your a sibling or something has a wedding and you can't make it because you have a business meeting,
Yeah.
something like that. I feel like that's like you should go to the wedding and like leave the business meeting out.
What if the business meeting is like,
What if it's like $1 million deal,
Then
and they need you on that day that they give a fuck, like it's that day or nothing?
I mean, I honestly would take the $1 million because I'll
So
be
you're-
there with them afterwards. I'm not going anywhere. But the $1 million, that's like a one-time opportunity or very rare opportunity.
So your point of view just changed because it's $1 million.
The thing that I was trying to say is that means you're controlled by money. You get me? Wherever the money waves, that's where you go. But I feel like, you know how you said that you get the money and then you start experiencing like new shit and learning new shit?
Yeah.
I feel like you could also do the opposite, and I feel like the opposite way would be better, because then you work on your own terms and you're much more happier, and you can dedicate the time to whatever the fuck you want to do, like your sister's wedding. You get what I mean? Like, you work on learning new experiences now while you're broke, because that's chill. We want money. We don't need money. Us right now, we can fucking go on days eating shit food. We don't, like,
But would it be nice to eat good food?
it would be nice, but it's like we don't need it. We don't need a house right now.
Yeah, but you can say that for like that. Not
Yeah,
having a house.
yeah. We can rent out like a small ass apartment and still be able to, like, you know, do big shit in that apartment.
I was thinking about that. Like, I'm just exploring what I like right now, and like the little things that excites me. Like, I'm trying to seek that. You know, like I found, like, for example, vinyls.
Yeah.
Bro, I was like, bro, these motherfuckers so cool and shit. I
Yeah.
might start collecting them, and like it just opens up another side of my brain. Like, oh, this can relate to this and that. I can't say anything, but
And then I feel like whatever you find, through those experiences and shit, you can incorporate money into like being one of the goals for this subject. You get what I mean?
So can you give me an example of how it would help me get money? Or
Let's say, for example, using your rock example,
yeah.
If you go to fucking Italy or something, to a volcano,
Yeah.
and then you start looking at rocks and you're like, fuck, this is so fascinating and everything. Like, without the goal of trying to make money, and you just really love rocks. Let's say you just find such an interest in rocks, like you can talk about rocks all day. Then you can start incorporating like money as a goal, and try to sell rocks and buy rocks and talk about rocks, make contents about rocks. You get what I mean?
Like a
Whereas
real
if
expert.
whereas if your motivation from the start was just money, you wouldn't have been in Italy, and you wouldn't stumble across rocks.
Yeah.
And with money, like, you might not even find rocks. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
Because then when you get money, your interest is gonna be like,
It's gonna be different.
yeah, from when you're like, you know, just normal. Because money can sway, like, I don't know, it can blur like the things that you like and the things that you enjoy.
I agree to that a lot.
What do you think, Leon?
What do I think? Oh, going back to going back to the thing you're saying about like prioritizing whether like whether you're working too much or like you're playing too hard. Like, I feel like there's always a in between with everything. Like, you should know when your friends are like dragging you down, and when you're working too hard, that you're losing your relationships.
How can you know if you're losing your relationships? Or just being distant with someone?
Now, on what you value, I reckon, changes if you know or not. Because if you value friends, you realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut in.
Yeah. Now the reason I was saying all this shit, and I was trying to the reason I was trying to persuade you guys when you guys said like, you know, money or whatever, is that like I used to chase that shit too. You get what I mean? With
And then you stop chasing.
remember
'cause-
tie up?
Yeah.
Like I used to just think like that was the thing, like, you know, and then later on I realized like I haven't even tried out other shit, and I'm so young.
Mm.
Like I can't just, if I was chasing the money and what you were saying, then I would have opened up a food truck or something. I would have saved up the money. I would have worked really hard and saved up, but then I wouldn't have known all this other world of like creatives and all of this shit. You get what I mean? And I feel like we're so young that we can.
So what
We can do
what were
that.
you seeking other than doing tie up? As in like seeking new experiences. What experience did you want to fulfill?
What do you mean?
Like you said, you were doing tie up, yeah.
Yeah.
And you had like the money mindset, but then you thought about, oh, I still haven't tried like all this. What was the all this you wanted to try and experience?
It started from, I don't know, for me it started from I tried to limit, like, I tried to cross shit off my list.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like, do I really want to do tie up? Making pad thai fucking every single day?
Yeah.
Or green curry every single day and serving like motherfuckers? Then if the answer was no. So then right away, like, I went into like a fucking period of like where I felt lost as shit.
Yeah.
Because I used to have like something to hold me. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that's something I just like, I was being honest with myself, and it just wasn't the way that I thought. So I went through a period, and then I started seeing, started watching new shit, learning new shit online, and I even traveled as well.
Yeah. Korea?
Yeah. And I'm planning to like go there again.
Big plans.
Yeah.
You always say like we're so young. Like, well, when is the point where like you have to grow up? Because I feel like, and I feel like a lot of people my age feel like that we're at that point. We need to grow up. Like, we need to like start working and stuff. We need to figure out what we want to do. Like, well, what do you feel about that?
Good
Or what
point.
do you guys all feel about that?
The tie-up thing, like I put a lot of pressure on myself with that one, and that made me realize how young we were. You know what I mean? Like, all that pressure is like, it's
unnecessary.
it's good, but it's also like it's fake. It's all like, it's more of like you're panicking, you know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah. So when do you think you need to start worrying and panicking about money?
I think it's different for everyone.
For you, let's say for you. For me, I feel like
So
now,
when do you feel like people should start growing up, or like when people should start working towards money or whatever?
like when money becomes a problem and you need to prioritize it.
Mm.
I don't know. What do you mean?
Feel like right now I'm worrying a lot about what I'm gonna do and where I want to be in life, where I want to be right now. And like you say that we're young, we can try new things, but
That's what I'm saying. I feel like you're worried, like, of that shit because you haven't tried out new things to be able to give you enough.
I feel like everyone is like that right now. Or what do you think?
I was about to say something, but what do I worry right now?
Yeah, are you worrying or are you like trying new things or where are you at?
I'm trying new things, but my worries at the moment, like, now thinking back, like my worries, because I got over it, but my worries like a few weeks and I think days ago was like seeing everybody, like it seems like they know what they're doing, but I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know that, like that lost stage?
Trust, no one knows what
I
the
know,
fuck they're doing.
But what's what I was going to say? But I thought about some crazy shit. Wait, hold on.
I feel like 90% of the people who are in uni right now are just going.
Leon hates the uni.
No, like
I hate it too. Don't worry.
90% of the people who are going to uni right now are just going to uni just to cruise through things, to give themselves like a sense of purpose. Oh yeah, I'm going uni. Yeah, I'm doing this. This is what I want to be. But really, it's not what you want to be. You're just gonna do that for the money.
Yeah.
Like, you agree or disagree to what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
But I feel like people who are in uni aren't doing what they want to do. I'm making them happy.
So how do people find that shit? Since we're not doing uni, yeah, like, what do you think we should be worried about, or should we even worry at all?
I think worrying is a good thing. So it keeps you
Keeps you on track.
and
Yeah.
like not comfortable. Like I said last time.
One
I feel like
thing,
worrying
Gives
too
you a
much.
sense of purpose too.
one thing, if people don't know what they want to do, is just to self-improve, like get in good habits and like start going to the gym, or like do whatever they want to do in terms of physical, and stay in good relationships, and in turn that would lead you where you want to go.
And also be truthful to yourself, you know?
Yeah.
For example, that denial plays a big part on your growth. Like, for example,
Yeah, facts.
like denial, bro. That's it.
Facts.
Like, for example, you see someone actually doing good and you start hating.
What is someone like you see that is doing good? Like, what is doing good?
You know when you talk to them
Yeah.
and like they seem like so, like, I don't know, like good conversations, like you can feel the vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And also like they consistent with their habits,
Yeah.
and like we're not talking about money.
Yeah. I get it.
Just like their mind is so clear, and like they just respect you. You can sense it when you talk to like a person. You know what I'm saying? So
So, what do you want to say?
I feel like, you know how you said self-improvement is going to help you get to where you want to go?
Yeah.
I agree with that, like, to an extent. I feel like the same way that I feel like money is like a booster of things, I feel like self-improvement is a booster of things as well. Like going to the gym, keeping your mental health good, and reading and learning new shit. That's all good. But I feel like it's like side things to help you kind of fulfill your actual purpose, your real purpose. You get what I mean?
Money.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I feel like keeping going to the gym will help you mentally, and gives you like
Exactly.
a break of things to fulfill your purpose, which is
Whatever it may be.
whatever it may be.
Alright, let me ask you this then. Can you connect self-improvement, gymming, and reading to money?
Can you say it again?
So connect self-improvement and explain how that's going to get you to where you want to go.
Yeah.
And so you said that thing, that place that you want to go is money, right?
Yeah.
So connect self-improvement
To money.
and all that shit,
Yeah.
and how it's gonna get you to money.
So
I actually want to hear this.
So gym, it will help you. I think like gym, if you're focused about money, the physical part is just like a bonus. Gym would help you practice your discipline.
Yeah.
As in like going even when
Yeah.
you're not feeling like it.
Yeah.
Your mental health, because it clears the cortisol from your body, which is the stress hormone,
Fact.
which is good for you.
Yeah.
So then you can focus about whatever you're prioritizing, which
Yeah.
could be money in this case. Reading books is also
But you see how, just let me like cut you in
Yeah,
Can I
there.
add
yeah.
something, but
How you said money just then, you said it so broadly, like it's like something that you just get, or like you just get from like, you know, working at the gym and shit.
what do you mean?
Like I feel like you left out the part
What did I
of
leave out?
the thing that gets you money.
So let's say I had to work on a business to get the money. Yeah.
So the business there, how are you gonna
So how
know what
is gymming?
business?
How's gymming gonna help the business?
No. The thing I'm trying to like ask is how's like self-improvement alone gonna get you to where you want to go,
I feel
which
like
is money.
I feel like all those things you stated out will only helps with discipline. If you're doing those things every day and working towards like your goal every day, it helps you build a habit. If you do that, like no one's gonna be a millionaire overnight.
Yeah.
But if you work on that thing, like 1% every day,
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, like towards maybe a couple months, couple years, you end up getting there.
Yeah, I agree.
So
But I think that you also need like something else as well.
also, what is that something else that I need?
Like you need to try shit out.
But I feel like if I keep trying, I'm just like
No, like
Going-
while you're trying, you're still doing those self-improvement things like reading. You're still, you know, going to the gym. You're still.
But like for me, right now I'm trying like different businesses or like different like ways to make money. That's like my kind of like experiencing new stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like, but then
Yeah.
what I think is like what I like.
That's what I was
is
trying to
experiencing.
like tell to the audience, like, you know, that like you need to have that trying out new shit as well.
to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or to get you where you want to go.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Do you still remember what you wanted to say?
I was talking about the gym discipline, and then it's good for your mental
oh
health
yeah,
and stuff.
I wanted to
Yeah.
add like consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for example, if you learn the consistency lesson from the gym,
Like
for
discipline.
example, you started a business online, and the first day, second day, first month you made no sales. It's same as gym. Like you go gym, and you finish, and you look at yourself. You don't look different. Like maybe a pump,
Yeah.
and the next day you look the same. Something like that. But over time, you put in the same work, even work harder, like the results will come in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like
That's what I learned from gymming. And also like I still need to learn like working hard at the gym as well, because I've been slacking,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like that also leads to like me slacking in like trying hard into like my ideas as well.
Oh,
That
I feel
links.
that. I feel that.
It linked.
When I lack at the gym, and I don't go to the gym for one day, like I
It
tend
sets
to
you
lack.
back 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Not. I'm not talking about the gym, but I'm talking about like I tend to lack other shit as well. And then that's when I could
It
start
snowballs.
feeling like, yeah, and then that's when the
Snowballs,
spiral starts.
yeah.
But then as soon as I feel that, like I just go to the gym.
So you have to feel
Well, like
good
I-
to do it.
No, it's not feeling good. It's feeling bad. What I'm
Yeah.
saying
I think
is
that's an inside
when
joke
I
to this
start-
podcast now.
when I start feeling bad, like I fucking get all like my other areas of life to fucking stand it.
I learned this from this very wise person, like pretty recently. Like you know how you just like your alarm, yeah. Snoozing your alarm is an L to the day already. You know what I'm saying?
stacking
Like
W's.
just stacking W's. Like just wake up straight. That's a W. That's the first
Yeah.
W in the day. And like you start claiming W's throughout the day.
Mm.
I think that would make you feel good and also like driven as well.
Yeah.
So linking back to what you were saying,
Yeah.
that's how gymming and all the self-improvement will help me get what I prioritize.
Nah,
in my
it's not
case,
the. I agree, it'll help, but
help.
I don't think it's. I feel like it's.
I feel like it's
not. It's not the only thing. Do you agree?
I feel like if you want money, then you have to get self-improvement and stuff down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But
so
then
that's-
there's also another like important shit as well, like trying out new business ideas and all that.
yeah, and that's working towards money,
Mm.
which is my in this case
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you suggested.
Yeah. What was the original question again?
You said how is self-improvement gonna help?
No, before
me?
that.
For that.
What did we say?
I just remember up to when you said
I said how the,
gym, reading, all that
balanced
is gonna
life.
help. Balance life. What you
Mm.
value,
yeah.
experiencing new stuff.
Oh, about reading as well.
That's actually so important.
I reckon,
Yeah, I get it.
like, you know how it links to like trying out new shit. For example, reading can be. It's not just about self-help. You know what I'm saying? It can be also about what you like. So reading a book about what you like also expands your knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like self-help will make you feel better and do better things.
Won't
But-
that expand your knowledge too?
Expand my knowledge too.
Yeah.
But also reading a book about your personal interest. Like let's say what you want to do, right? You want to study about rocks. You read a book about rocks. Oh shit, it's so cool and stuff.
Mm.
And like eventually when you're like an expert in rocks, you will think ways how to connect money to this rock. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like how can I benefit from my knowledge?
Mm.
I don't know, reading is just good in so many ways. It's not just self-help. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because like you know shit.
How
Like,
can people
you're
find what they want to do?
trying out new things?
Yeah.
Mm.
Like just throw yourself out
On
there.
what you're like,
That's what I'm trying to
you
say.
base on what you're interested in.
Speaking about rocks, I might research about rocks. Right?
My point before was like, even if I don't like rocks, I'll force myself to like rocks.
See, that's what I think. It's like
You think that's bad? But it's not like rocks are 100% of my life. It's like,
It's a stepping stone.
yeah.
no because
You get it?
no,
It's like
I get
replacing the
you.
9 to 5, but instead of the 9 to 5 labor work, I'll just be doing rocks.
But it's like you're still doing something like for money.
Do you go 9 to 5 for money or you go there?
Nah,
for
you
love?
go there for money, but
Yeah.
it's temporary. Or at least for me, I feel like it's temporary. Because I feel like
100%
I'm
has to
gonna
be
build.
temporary.
I'm gonna build my own
Everything's
shit.
temporary.
I feel like when you find, I feel like that interesting is so important.
But then, like,
And what I was trying to say is that like if money is like your thing, that's how I was trying to like get to like understand why you think money is like such a big thing.
I really
Shit.
like it's one of the big things. But yeah,
What's the other big things?
my happiness
But where's your happiness come from?
from my friends and I
From
don't
your
know,
friends.
like friends, family, like the little stuff.
Now, let me ask a question. If you guys could do one thing for the rest of your life that would make you happy and make you $1 million or like whatever amount of money, what would you guys pursue?
I don't think that thing exists.
No, like for
Like,
example.
theoretically.
Yeah, for example.
What would you do that you love that will help you get the money? Let's say you're experiencing something and then you found the one that you loved.
What was your question again?
What would you do for the rest of your life? Like, if money wasn't involved, what would you do?
I don't think I can do one thing.
Or like multiple or whatever.
I feel like for me, I need to be doing multiple shit.
Okay, what's the
That's
multiple
one thing
stuff?
I've been learning recently. I need to do YouTube. I need to do like fucking, I don't know, like self-improvement's another thing. I need to like travel. I need to like, I'm just trying to find shit out. I've did cooking. I've done fucking food. I know my experience with that.
Mm.
I was trying to do some comedy as well. I fuck with that shit. I want to do even potentially acting as well.
Or what would you do?
What would I do?
Something you actually enjoy.
Realistically,
if
would
mo-
you actually do one thing for the rest of your life?
If money wasn't involved, what would you do? What would you pursue? I think I have an answer for you.
What?
I think you'd play games.
Play games.
Yeah.
Uh,
If money was not involved.
it will be temporary.
Temporary.
Yeah.
How would you?
Like if money wasn't involved,
Yeah. What would you do? What would you pursue?
but I would pursue videography, bro.
Videography.
Yeah.
What would you do?
I think you already know my answer, but I'd want to do something in the lines of sport, as in like,
Oh yeah, my guys are a fucking athlete.
as in athlete.
And also I have an interest in like clothing as well.
People can have multiple interests, man.
Yeah, I know.
And all those interests can bring up, like they can bring in certain certain amounts of money that when you join up with all the other little things
Yeah.
is like money. Do you get what I mean? And that's what I was trying to say.
What?
I was like, you find those little things. I reckon is the way, and my views might change in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But
Which
I
is-
reckon is the way that I feel like right now is the most, it'll make people the most excited and happy. It'll give a meaning to life instead of just pursuing money. Do you know what I mean? Just imagine yourself if you could.
I understand your point of view. For me, I'm comparing it right now of like, you know, there's people who live in the mountains.
Yeah.
They're happy as fuck, you know? Like, money's not a problem to them.
Mm.
But then, like, for me, or the other side is like living in a nice house in the best area. But for me, I'll choose the best area and all that.
Yeah.
And being happy.
Do
Rather
you
than
think
being
it's-
happy and doing what I love, like, let's say in their case, is like farming, being alone, hanging out with the animals,
Yeah.
you know?
Do you think it's because you grew up in like a materialistic world? That's
Yes.
why you think like
Yeah.
that? Yeah, I feel that. Because I feel like you're so let's say for example, would you agree that happiness is like the end goal? Because you said money brings happiness, right?
Yeah.
So that means happiness must be
Yeah,
like,
being happy and living a fulfilled life would be
Yeah.
a good end goal.
happy and fulfilled life as the end goal. I'm pretty sure that's the same for most people.
Yeah.
The thing that I was trying to say with like what you were saying is that your journey to happiness and fulfilled life has like one extra big step, which is money. So I feel like what you're saying, what you're telling yourself when you pursue money or you'd study rocks all day if someone waved $1 million is that like what was I gonna say? It's like the money, it's
Yeah,
like
but then, like, I want that, so I have to take that extra step. If I wanted to become a farmer who lives in the mountains, I could do other stuff. And the farmer will suffer different types of big steps rather than the money part.
No, but I think you can kind of like take something from the farming thing and take something from the money thing and then make it into something that's like much more better than both of them.
Such as...
Like finding your interests and shit.
But then the interest of the farmer is like being around the farm, taking care of animals. He likes that, so he does it. And he's content with his life.
So what do you like?
I like the other side, which is like living in a nice house, like able to take care of my family and like friends even, like, hey, let's go out for dinner, I'll pay for everything, we'll go to this nice restaurant. Wouldn't that be nice? Like, oh yeah, I've got this friend, he's which he took me out the other day, we had this, I've never tried it before.
The thing with that one is it's like never ending. You get what I mean? You have money, like no matter, tell me like an amount that you would say, okay, yep, that's gonna make me fulfilled or happy or whatever. Like it's never ending. Once you get to that, like
But the same for the farmer. When is he gonna be like, when he's gonna be done?
it's sustainable though. You get what I mean? And then the thing what I'm trying to say is with the farmer, he likes taking care of like cows and horses and shit.
Yeah.
Like he's self-fulfilling and that allows him to.
That's him, like, he has to put in the labor for that too.
Yeah, but he likes doing that.
Yeah.
Whereas for you with the money thing, and when you think you're gonna be happier, like you know, with this, like let's say for example $1 million.
Yeah.
When you get to that $1 million, you're like you're probably gonna feel like a sense of like directionless because you've reached that goal, and then you're gonna think the way out is more and more and more, and then that's when money controls you and you don't control your money. Do you get what I mean? And then that's when you start doing shit just in order to get more because you think you're gonna be fulfilled. But like happiness and fulfillment, you can reach that now. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
That's why I'm trying to like kind of get you to see the other side.
I see the other side, but like, I feel like, I guess I don't value it as much as you do. That's why I don't talk about it or like do it. But everyone's different.
Yeah.
I feel like what I'm talking about will work for me.
Mm.
And if you're not interested, that's fine.
Mm.
And if I'm not interested in your one, that's fine. But we can learn off each other.
Yeah. That's because I heard so many people like fucking go through your shit. Whatever you like, your goals and whatever you wanted to do, and how you described how you were gonna get there. Like I've heard so many stories of people going through that route, and then they just like, it's just, you know what I mean?
Where'd you hear it from?
Like Joe Rogan podcast. They're talking about he talks to like a lot of actors and, you know, entrepreneurs and everything, and business like people and all that shit.
Yeah.
And he also talks a lot about like happiness and what gives you that sense of meaning right now. Do you know what I mean? Because right now, the thing that gives you a sense of meaning, it would maybe be like money would be one of the major things.
Well, money will help me get to what will give me meaning.
Yeah, but the thing that Joe Rogan was talking about on his podcast is with these like many actors, and these actors were talking about it too. They thought the same thing as well. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Once they can retire their parents, yeah, you know, live in a nice house.
I
and
feel like
everything, they
that's
just
a
feel
good,
empty.
Good like high level quest to retire parents. Would you not want to retire parents?
I want to, of course, I want to.
Yeah.
But I think I wouldn't say it's like.
Not up there for you. Well, I prioritize that.
Now the
very
reason it's like not up there doesn't mean that like I don't want to do it. Like I really want to do it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not like my end goal. I feel like it's like a byproduct. It's like, you know, I feel like your end goal and shit is like, you know, okay, retiring your parents and, you know, making all this shit like money, living in a nice house and everything. That's like kind of up there for you. For me, that shit is, it's already like, it's like my shit, like that shit is down here.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna get to there, and then there's like much more than that, and that's why I'm trying to get you to like, you know, suss out for
I feel
yourself.
like
you know what I mean?
for
Like
me,
find that like much more thing.
Yeah.
You know?
But for me, I feel like once I get to there, I'll start worrying about getting to like, higher levels to where you want to be.
But you can work on that shit now.
But then, for me, how I work, I feel like if I work on whatever I want to, like experience new stuff, I won't be focused and driven to do stuff that I need to do.
I can see why you'd think that.
Yeah.
What if you thought about that? Like, what if you tried new experiences and then those experiences led you
to where you want to be?
You get what I mean?
Yeah, but for me, I feel like the percentage of that happening is very low.
No.
Why you think that?
No.
It's just like, I have to find this, I find this. It's like chance. It's a chance. It's not like a guarantee. Or high. Or
So what
high
do you,
how's the
what,
money-
what do you say is a guarantee about?
like trying out new businesses.
Like, what do you say is a guarantee though?
Not guarantee, a higher chance. So close to a guarantee.
So how would you achieve your goal? Like, let's just say that. How would you achieve what you want?
I'm
like
not
a
trying
big
to
house?
I'm not trying to corner you. I'm trying to get you to like suss out that new shit, like that fucking like that above where the fuck, like, you know, retiring your parents and living in nice houses like here, like that thing that's like already here. What I'm trying to say is like you can work on that shit now while working to retire your parents as well. You feel me?
Can you clarify again what's the shit I should be working on?
So the thing that you said was
my goal is like money, retiring my parents and all that. And what's the above that you were talking about?
like,
Do you know what the above is?
finding out like the thing that like really fulfills you. Materialistic.
But for me, money or like the stuff that money can do would fulfill me.
And then I was saying that's why I said the
I feel like
Joe.
retiring is
the
my
shit.
parents and stuff like that.
That's why I was telling you about the like experiences from like many actors and many like successful people, and they say that like it's.
Then why
Have you
don't
ever heard
they
of,
drop
like-
out their job and do what they love?
And you see a lot of people do that, but then you also see a lot of people get sucked into the trap of thinking that if they reach the next milestone, if they can buy a bigger house, if they can buy more shit for their parents, and have more shit, more, and everything, then eventually they're gonna be happy. When the thing that they're really chasing afterwards is like, the thing that they're chasing after is like that happiness, that like fullness of life. You get what I mean? The thing that gives you a reason to wake up, and not something that makes you wake up, like money. You get what I mean?
But
If you take the money route, what I'm trying to say, based on hearing other people's experiences, is that
I feel like money is like
gets you to like wake up.
part of the route.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah. So once I get money, the route is like taking care of my family, my own family, my friends. I feel like having those experiences, like you said, would make me fulfilled and very happy.
Oh.
I feel like for me, like being able to retire my parents, spending time with friends, myself, taking care of my family, my kids, making sure they don't need to worry about stuff. That's like, I feel like I'm happy like that.
Yeah.
And I'm fulfilled.
Do you think it's possible that you think that you're gonna be happy because you don't have that yet?
Yeah.
I think I have to agree with Rob. I feel like 100% I agree with everything.
So you think
Like,
after you retire,
I
your
feel
parents...
like what he said.
You're living life.
The
You're not
main
living the dream.
quest. The main quest of retiring your parents, like, will open up many more things that you could do.
Retiring my
But-
parents makes me happy.
But that's the main thing that I feel like I am, and Rob and maybe Min is striving towards right now.
And maybe even you too, man. Maybe
I
you
am
too.
striving towards that.
But I feel like retiring my parents would make me and my family the happiest.
It would make everyone cry,
Yeah.
like tears of joy. Like that would be like a tick off the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big tick.
The golden
Yeah.
tick.
And like taking care of your family, your kids, making sure that like they go to like the best schools, making sure they like go to like the best gym, stuff like that.
I get what you're saying. Now it just
Like,
makes me
it's like-
wonder why so many people that have reached that level feel so empty.
You think they feel empty?
Like, I've heard them say that. They feel empty. Which makes me wonder, like, could we just be thinking that that's going to give us the fullness that we think it would, just because we're not there yet? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing that...
So why didn't they stop doing that for the money and do what they love?
And that's what you see, like, actors like Matthew McConaughey and all that shit. They get massive success and then they just fuck off to Africa.
Yeah, and then they do what they... Money was the tool. What if they
But then
couldn't
they-
have the money or the finance to go in Africa, and then which part of Africa?
I feel like the people you're talking about is such a small percentage of like
I don't
the
think it's
people who are actually successful. I feel like
I agree with Rob with the part where like when you make money and you're able to retire your parents, that should be a goal.
It's a
But
tool.
like it's a tool as well, and you can worry about what you want later. But also, I think like that can lead to other shit as well.
Such
like,
as?
for example, you done your goals already, and maybe at that time you don't know what to do next, and then that can turn bad.
That's what I'm saying.
That can turn bad because
And then
need
you
to
want
set
more.
where you like what you want straight from the start. Money. I don't know, because when you have money, you can never tell what you're gonna do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can say it now because you don't have it.
Yeah.
So the thing that I was trying to say is like your goal with like money. No shit, money is like fucking everyone's goal. But I feel like if you shift your like kind of direction towards finding shit that you like and you really enjoy, that gives you the full, like, you know how you see legendary comedians or actors or sports players and stuff, they don't fight for the money, they fight because they love fighting. Like they love seeing, they love, like, you know, weigh-ins, they love fucking skipping like 1,000 fucking skips every day and all that shit. Like that sort of shit
feel like that's
is
like the
gonna
farmer
lead
route.
but it can lead to, because this day and age, it leads to retiring your parents and stuff, and you're already fulfilled now. Do you know what I mean? Instead of worrying about retiring your parents and stuff, because that's gonna happen anyways. You get what I mean? If you view it as it's gonna happen anyways,
Yeah.
then you get to work. It's like a head start. You're working on the shit that like successful people right now, like a lot of people like are working on right now. You get what I mean? The reason I say this is because when I wanted to buy my car, yeah, I thought I was gonna be the happiest fucking man ever, and I was for like a week.
Yeah.
And then from then on, it started to become like oh fuck, when am I gonna get a new car and all that shit.
So let's say
like,
I take the car away from you.
Like it's real.
Yeah. But then let's say, like, once I take the car away from you, how would you feel?
I wouldn't feel like I'd honestly I'd feel like negative feelings and shit.
Yeah.
I'd feel like, oh fuck, like what the fuck, like, you know, my car's gone and all that.
Yeah.
But I feel like I didn't appreciate, like, I feel like saving up all that anticipation for like the new car, it was like a waste of time. You get what I mean?
Time.
Yeah.
But didn't you feel like you completed a goal?
I felt that, but then after you complete, I completed that goal, I felt empty.
You felt empty.
Yeah. And then it started to become, even on a low level, yeah. Even I'm not even successful right now. I just got a new car, 15K.
Yeah.
I'm already looking to buy like the next Mercedes, the next fucking Ford Focus, like all that shit. And then that's when it becomes, if at a low level, you're already like, take me for example.
Yeah.
If I'm already trying to get more and more and more at a low level, like think about when you reach $1 million, you're gonna want fucking 2 million, 100 million, like 400 million. You get what I mean? And then that's when the money controls you. And then, you know how you said after you retire your parents, then you can start figuring out like what you're interested like in?
Yeah.
You're never going to get to do that because you're going to want more. You get what I mean? And that's why some actors, that's why I was trying to say with some actors, they fuck off to Africa. And you're right. If they didn't have the finances and shit to do that, they wouldn't have. But then a lot of actors, majority of actors, they keep trying to fucking do more and more and more. Only the few small percentage realize like, yo, shit, I need to stop. I need to go on a fucking cleanse. I need to fucking go chase like fucking zebras and shit in Africa for a bit. And then come back to reality. And then that's when I feel like that's deep like growth. You know what I mean? Growth that you can't just get from fucking going to the gym every day. Although that shit is helpful and it's gonna get you there.
Yeah.
And it helps you, but it's not like the main, like money isn't the main thing. You get what I mean? And that's what I was trying to get to, like you to understand, where you find what you want to do. And if any audiences here, like they don't know what the fuck they're doing, like try out new shit. That's all I'm saying. What do you reckon?
I agree, but it's just not what I value. So that's all. But like if you guys want to become the farmer, become the farmer. If you guys want to have a nice house and all that, then go for it.
My view on what Tony just said is like finding out new things. Let's say a guy who has interest in like photos. He buys a camera and then he starts taking photos. He's not thinking about he obviously has the drives to have like, oh yeah, I want money and stuff.
Now I get it, like he falls in love with the camera and money comes along.
I get
it. I understand.
So he starts taking photos and he starts posting it up, and then later on he's like, oh shit, my photo got 1 million likes. It just comes along, you know, but like you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get it. But it's like a business kind of way. Like type of thing, yeah.
So do you think that like finding that money, like do you still think that like trying to chase that money is like more important than like finding like that up there above the retiring parents and all that shit?
Because what's up there above the retiring parents, it's different for you and it's different for me. I feel like the up there is retiring your parents and taking care of your kids and your kids' kids and all that.
Because what I was just saying was, like when you reach that goal, like like you hear from, like do you feel like a little bit like scared that you can turn out exactly the way that these people are describing it? Like, do you feel that?
Not really.
Not really.
No.
I feel like
everyone's different.
Going back to what you said about like the car analogy, wanting more.
Yeah.
I feel like the pursuit of your goal is 80% of the happiness that you achieve.
The process.
Yeah.
That's why people say fall in love with the process.
And then it's also about giving back when you do achieve it. Say you do become successful. You're not gonna like be happy from buying stuff for yourself, but like if you're giving back to like let's say your family or your friends, I think that's what's gonna make you the most happy.
So you said the happiness is in the process, yeah. So I think, so wouldn't you say that like trying to find shit that you, I know we're going around in circles.
Yeah, what you're trying to say right now is basically, to Leon's analogy, is like, how do you give back without the money, yeah?
Yeah, because you can do that. It's possible. It is. It really is. You don't need $1 million to give back. You spend time with the people that you like and all that shit. And you can keep fucking trying to find like ways to make money in the ways that you want to make money. And not chasing, not reading about rocks every fucking day just because someone waved $1 million. Do you get what I mean? That's what I was trying to get you people to understand. Like, you get what I mean? It's like money shouldn't be, I feel like it shouldn't be a thing. And I'm trying to prove all the things that I just said based on like other people's experiences at like high level successful people, my experiences, and just like in general, like happiness and everything. I feel like money just doesn't lead to that. It's like a byproduct. You feel me?
No, but I also agree with Robin Leon's like.
Yeah.
Like for
there's
example,
shit that I agree as well.
Can also be like, for example, you have money, right? You can afford, like, for example, mom, dad, we're going to Bora Bora. We're gonna spend 2 weeks there, and we're gonna make memories. That's happiness for 2 weeks.
But you can reach that happiness without the money. Yeah. You really can.
Okay, I got a good analogy. What you're trying to say is like, let's say we're gifting people, yeah? You made a handmade flowers for the girl. She would feel happy, but then you buy her like a new purse. Like, they're both still happy, but then it's like different.
But the difference between those two is that for the bag, you need to spend time and work to build up money and all that shit. But for the flowers, you can do that now.
But you still have to put time and effort into it too.
But you can do that now.
You know
what I mean?
I can't agree with you, Tony. Like,
what part don't you understand? I actually want to know.
Oh, wait, hold on.
For real.
Hold on. I kind of understand that where you like do it now.
You get what I mean?
If you trying to make
tomorrow's not
like,
a guarantee.
Find happiness now and like try to make your parents proud now. What about you doing something now?
Exactly. Imagine you died. Imagine you're working towards retiring your parents, yeah? Let's say, for example, retiring your parents is here. You're working, you're like here, and then you die. You get up to heaven.
But then I die trying. I'd be pretty happy with that.
No.
But then you die trying without even without even having that experience with your like parents and shit. When you can have that shit like today. You can take your parents out to eat. Not even fancy. I don't even think people want fancy shit. It's more the quality time. I feel like that shit of that, like, of course buying like round trips to fucking, you know, Hawaii and shit for your parents is nice. But you can fucking take them to like Mornington or some shit like today. You get what I mean? Like, and the book that I was reading, like, you know, The Way of the Superior Man.
Can't you do both?
You can.
You can. Yeah.
But I'm saying like to focus on like now and reaching your whatever you think that after, like, you know that sentence when you say after I get money, I'll be happy. After I get money, I want to be able to like.
But I'm still content with where I am now. I'm still happy now. Like I said, I'm still happy every day.
But what about all those things that you were saying after money?
It will still make me happy. I'm grateful and happy every day.
Nah, I agree.
All I'm saying is like we all value different stuff.
Yeah.
Because like a poor man's end goal is different, or like a person with no arms has a different end goal to like a person who's very healthy. You know?
Yeah.
So he could be max level content, the guy with no arms, and the other person could be max level content, the healthy person. And they're both content to the max. But when we view it, it's like different. It's like, oh, his content is like so low, he just wanted to become a professional swimmer. Where like for us now, swimming is like too easy.
I think what I was trying to say, like in altogether, like what we've been talking about for the past like couple minutes is like to not look for completion of things in the same way that you were like describing it.
Like, are you trying to say have like a open-ended goal?
Have goals, but don't have those don't let those goals limit you in the things that you do. You get what I mean? If you want money, that's fine. I want money too. Everyone wants money, but
It's a tool.
don't let that be your only thing. And what I was saying pretty much means like with money it can get dark really easy, really quick as well.
It's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's
But
a tool, but
everyone's
it's like
different. If you give money to a bad person,
Yeah,
versus
yeah,
a good person,
mm,
they use money differently.
Yeah,
I get it.
I was just trying to like
What
Let
you're telling
audience
me
knows.
is like it's like a warning why I should watch.
Yeah,
out for.
yeah, I was pretty much
and
trying to
I'll
warn
take
you.
it. It's
Mm.
like something I should keep in mind.
Yeah, I reckon like a lot of people can relate to that because you know for the people that because there's some people watching out there and they're like fuck like $1 million is the one,
Yeah.
like you know all that shit without understanding like you know the shit that like we might understand, like you know being happy, content with yourself every day. Not everyone like might be like you get what I mean, because people are different. And I think what I was trying to say is like to warn the people that just want money like that, like you know, number one, you don't even need the house and shit today. Number two, all the things that you want to do after money, you can do that shit. Like most of the things you can do that shit now. Obviously you can't fucking go travel around the world.
Retire your parents.
Yeah, you can't do that. But like all the things, like if you think about why you want to retire your parents, you want to make them happy, you want to like, you know, have them like be at ease and everything. You can do that sort of shit. You can talk to them, have crazy conversations with them to show them like, you know, your growth and how mature you've become and how good of a job they did raising you to become like this. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I know, but linking back to that shit, you know how you said you did like you you disagree with like the shit that I was saying?
Yeah.
Like what do you think of it now? Like has anything changed or are you still
Not really.
Now I feel like it depends like where you're actually really at with your life. Like what are your goals? Because my goals are different to yours, you know. Like we might be on the same path towards the end, but how we get there will be completely different.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
I'll see you at the top.
I'll see you at the top.
I'll see you at the top.
Yeah.
I'll see you at the
I'll
top.
see you at the top too. I'll see all you guys at the top.
Even though our roads might be different,
Yeah.
we'll see each other at the end.
Mainly what I was trying to like, why I was like going so fucking hard about that shit was like trying to warn you guys. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because other people been speaking about that shit.
Yeah. And like we hear about it too.
But then nothing, like, you get what I mean? It's like we hear about that, but we don't, it's like...
I actually respect you for like telling us like what you think about that topic, because like it would save us a lot of time.
Yeah.
That's the
Time
thing.
is very precious.
Time, man.
It's very precious.
We say that, but like, bro, it's the most important thing.
Alright.
Fuck, man. You go through all that shit. It's crazy. You're chasing one thing and then you realize you don't want that shit. Like, that's not the thing that fills you up at fucking 50. 50 years old. What are you gonna do now? That's when you're fucking... And then that's when you're limited as well, because you got family to feed. And then that's when you get forced into those fucking shitty jobs, man. Shit that you don't want to do. Shitty office jobs. You fucking become...
Yeah,
all
I don't
that
want to
shit.
live that life. I feel like
Yeah, I don't think anyone does. But I don't know. I feel like my advice is for people that don't know what they're doing as well. Just encouraging them to like try everything, whatever the fuck that sparks that little like, oh shit, that's pretty cool.
the
Like-
midnight ideas there.
All that shit. Follow through with that shit.
If
That
you guys
can
have
come
midnight
up
ideas,
Write it down your notes.
make sure to write that shit down.
and follow
And
through with
also,
it with the next day,
Like,
man.
minimize telling your like ideas to the wrong people. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
They'll kill your fucking dream.
Facts. You know what
I
I?
want to see that.
You done?
Yeah.
After like, I've heard some people. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard this before as well. Some people say that they don't tell their ideas to anyone. But nah, but I reckon if you tell the right people,
Yeah,
that
if
can be
you
a
tell-
blessing.
if you
bro.
tell
It's
the
a
right
I'm
blessing.
talking about like wrong people and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you
be
know
careful.
how do you know which people are the right people and the wrong people to say shit to?
I feel like the safest thing to do is not tell anyone.
No, I think
I can
But
take
then if
take
you're willing to take that chance
an
of telling
idea
Mm,
and
the
a
right
you
project.
think
person,
it's a chance
it will
now.
help you.
An idea and a project is two different things. Let's say you have an idea, yeah, and you want to do it. I reckon like.
Can you give us an example of like an idea?
For example, you think about you wanna
photos.
Yeah, like a business idea or something. Yeah.
Oh, I wanna buy a camera and take photos, and then
because you love it. Yeah.
I reckon just buy the camera first, experiment with it, and then tell like the ones that you think would be like a good person to tell it to.
Yeah.
And like, hey, what should I do like next and shit? And you try and you don't know, you just exchange ideas and stuff.
Because a lot of my ideas, man, the good ideas, they came from other people.
I think going back to the thing where knowing who to tell, like whether it's a good person or bad, like you really don't know it until you tell the person. You don't know whether someone will drag you down or lift you up to encourage you to do those things.
It's just a chance.
Yeah.
Hey, but Tony, only you heard about my ideas. What do you think about that?
I think it's great, man.
Don't say anything, but what do you think?
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Don't say it. Say it by like with your eyes.
Nah, this is good. It's good shit. Keep working on it and follow through with it.
And also, I think
follow through. Oh, bro.
I think it's pretty good idea as well. Like whatever it might be, I trust you. I think you're doing the right thing.
Leon's just taking a piss.
But nah, like it's so easy to say. Like all this shit, it's so easy. But I think everyone should just take the action.
Which leads me to my next topic. Yeah, for people. Okay, so we discuss.
I'm actually excited. Next topic.
We discuss like success and all that shit, ambition, life, balance, goals, desires, whatever. For people that know what they want to do. Let's say, for example, you found out photography. Yeah. You like photos, you like rocks, or whatever the fuck it is. How do you take the first steps? Like, what advice would you give for people that haven't took the first steps yet, but they might be limited, like, they might be too scared to take the first step, or other people might be limiting them? Like, what sort... Alright, let's start off with what sort of limitations generally are people, like, are keeping people from taking the first steps?
I think it's not doing it. You know why? Because then everyone, 100%, everyone feels scared. It just depends. Fear. Yeah, fear. Everyone feels it. But if you don't do it, you're like a coward. But if you do it, then you're doing what you're supposed to do or what you want to do.
But what advice, how do you reckon someone can go from that fear state to taking the first step?
Is by doing it.
Is by doing it, yeah.
Just having the courage to do it.
It's easy to say. But I reckon, like, for you to take the first step,
it's like
like for example, the guy that wants to take a photo, he's too scared to start doing it. I think the first step would be just to buy that fucking camera. And like, he will later think, oh shit, like I actually need to do it now.
Yeah, but it's like,
I put investments in it already.
Can I interject? But it's like stalling. At the end, you're still gonna overcome that fear and take that photo, right? But then like,
I don't think it's stalling.
If you still buy the camera, you're still scared to take the photo, right?
But you kind of like, I feel like
it's like oh, I'm too scared to take the photo, but then like, 100% later on you're still gonna have to take that photo.
Yeah.
So you still have to take that step. So why not just take it now, even though you're scared?
No, but it's so easy to say take it now. But how do you just take the first step? Like actually,
I reckon
you say, "Oh, just take it now." It's so easy to say.
But then,
how do you take it now?
When you, so how is it easier than taking a photo later on?
Let me tell you.
Isn't it like the same?
Nah, it's not, because one of them, and you might even heard this from like I think it's from Atomic Habits as well. Like when you invest when you invest something like money, time, or anything into something, it's more likely that you're gonna follow through and do it. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I reckon for you it might come natural to you to just fucking do it. But I reckon some people require like
an extra step.
But it's really not an extra step, because eventually you're gonna need to get that camera anyways to take the photo.
But once you get that camera,
let's say you overcome the fear of taking the photo, you're still gonna go out and get the camera.
Obviously, you can't even take a photo if you don't have a camera.
It's like you're picking. I think what Min's trying to say is you pick at shit that's easier to do. And what we were talking about last time, like you invest your money, it's things that you know what to do, and it's almost like momentum. It's
But like, how am I supposed to take a photo without the camera? That's like a given. You have to have the camera.
But some people.
But we're talking about people who are too scared to take the picture. Am I right?
Yeah, to take a picture.
So, and the question is, how can people get over that fear?
It's like how can you be scared of taking a picture when you don't even have the camera yet?
No. Like what I'm trying to say is some guy that wants like to be deep in like photography and take photos for famous people. That's his goal, yeah.
Yeah.
Taking photos for famous people.
Yeah.
But he can't take the first step by like start like an Instagram page and then posting.
Because he's too scared.
his,
Because
creative
people.
stuff. And like he just in bed thinking like, okay, I'm gonna do it soon. and
Facts.
stuff. But I reckon
I think that's stolen.
should just like buy the camera. Like that's investment.
I feel like buying the camera is a given. Like you should already have the camera.
But some people just stuck in the first step with the idea step. You know what I'm saying?
That's who we're trying to help.
Going back to the thing where like what's stopping you and how to overcome it. What's stopping most people from starting what they want to start is the fear, but it's the fear of judgment. It's the fear of like other people judging them, or if I start this, people is gonna think like, oh, I'm cringe or
So
whatever.
how can people
Like,
get over that?
And the fear,
Just do it.
how people can get over that is to like run out of excuses. Run out of excuses.
See, like and buying the camera.
It's
You
no
know,
longer an excuse.
when do you get it? Like when
My
you're
point is
when
you can't even take a photo
so
without
when
the camera.
when you have fear, yeah, you start to come up with excuses. Oh, I don't even have a camera, so I'm not even gonna find no. All that shit. You go out and get the camera, and you do all the things that's easy. Getting a camera is easy.
Yeah.
Taking the photo is the hard thing. Yeah.
But
So
sooner or
you
later,
do-
you're gonna have to take that photo.
But sooner or later, you're gonna have to get that camera anyways.
Yeah.
You
so
get what I mean?
Why not get it
No,
now?
I think he's not getting it. Like, for example, a guy that wants
Zero.
to be a photographer, starting from zero.
He doesn't have shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have a camera. He just
He
wants
wants
to.
it bad, but he can't do anything because he hasn't done any. I don't know.
He
He's
doesn't
stuck,
done
you know.
anything. Yeah.
So he just need to buy the camera, and if he makes another excuse, oh, I need a tripod, he buys
Gets-
the tripod. If he makes another excuse, oh fuck, I need to go be in the city. Go to the city.
Sooner or later, you start to gain this. It's like a momentum. You start to feel this fucking push. Like, yo, you're gonna have to get that camera. But because you did all of those things, and it's like preparing yourself for where you wanna like be. It's like taking that photo doesn't seem so scary anymore. You get what I mean? It's like overcoming that fear. But you're overcoming it by doing the things that you had to do anyway. You get what I mean? I think that's what Min's trying to say.
Yeah, I get it.
Mm,
It's like my analogy,
mm,
which could be what you guys are saying, is like,
yeah,
let's say I wanted to bench press,
yeah.
but then the first step to hitting that 100 like PR,
Mm,
like I felt like I need the hand straps.
mm,
Until I get the hand straps, I can try it
mm.
because I'll be safer. But
Yeah.
why not like try without the hand straps?
Cause it's fear.
But for me, I would like
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like
Try
for
it
some
out.
people, it
Just do
comes natural.
Mm.
I'm trying to help.
because sooner or later you're gonna have to do the weight,
Yeah,
hand straps or without.
yeah.
Like why not do it without and then later you buy hand straps?
Because then there's no point of buying the hand
I
straps.
think we're
after
talking about like how we can help people.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Start.
See,
not
that's
like,
what I'm trying to say.
Not like just do it. Like that's
Yeah.
not. an
Because there's
example
people
of
like
helping
you,
them.
and it's great. Like people just fucking why not do it now? Like no shit, why not do it now?
But-
I'm talking about like, for me, fucking. There's been some times where I'm like, fuck, I'm too scared to do this shit. Like subconsciously and consciously as well. Sometimes I know. Sometimes I'm just come up with fucking lame excuses to not do shit. But what I found worked and helped me like gain confidence to overcome that fear is like, you know, doing all the shit that you're required to do anyways to start that. Do you know what I mean? Take that first step. How can people take the first step? This might help you as well, take your first step. You never know.
No, I agree with you,
Mm,
and I agree with what I said.
mm. What other limitations do you think other people have from starting? Like, what are some other things that limit people from starting, do you reckon?
Beliefs.
I feel like that links to fear though. I feel like a thing that fucking stops people from doing shit is people around them.
Also, like you say it to the wrong person and they'll be like, oh, that's too saturated already.
So
or
people
like,
around you.
Yeah.
How do you think people can get over that shit?
by just-
Or how have you, if you've ever overcome that, how do you think?
Oh, are you asking me or?
No, he's
No,
asking you.
I'm asking the whole group.
Oh, I think. Well, can you repeat the question?
So some of the other limitations I think is people around you.
I feel like to get over that, the first step of getting over that is to realize that people are holding you back, and it's what you do about it. Say you cut them off, or like you inspire them as well. But if you don't take action in like what you realize, then everything's going to stay the same.
So let's say, for example, someone wants to start a food business and their parents just fucking hate it because they want their kid to be a doctor or lawyer or fucking psychologist or anything. And they're just like, nah, I think that's like, like low level shit, like, all that shit. And then they start to like, second guess their shit. They're second guessing shit. How, like, what actions were you saying?
I feel
Can
like
people
just
take-
believe in yourself.
How to? From a person, you get what I mean? It's easy to say because you believe in yourself and I believe in myself and everyone here seems to believe in themselves. But for someone, just put yourself in their shoes for a sec, that they don't believe in themselves. What ways, or like even fucking like mind tricks or fucking whatever, like can you play on yourself to start believing in yourself and stop caring about what other people think? What do you guys think?
I feel like it's the level of how much you believe in yourself. If you truly actually believe in yourself, you wouldn't even like consider about what they're saying.
I think it comes back to also with the self-improvement. If you improve like in yourself to a level, like it will give you so much confidence.
Facts. I
in
was
like
just about
what
to
you
say
want to
that.
do.
Facts.
You agree?
I agree. I reckon that's another thing as well. Just gaining confidence from other things,
Yeah.
and then sooner or later you realize these people ain't shit, cause like they're not where you wanna fucking be. Oh, that's another thing as well. Realizing that like most of the people that's limiting you and all that shit are not where you wanna be.
Yeah.
For example, friends and shit, they're not successful yet. So it's like taking advice from a person that doesn't play sport on how to play sport. You get what I mean?
Let me
Yeah.
guess what you're trying to say. Don't like for example, you're talking to this person, don't and like they're not who you want to be. Don't take their like I don't know how to say it. Like
They're what could like they're fucking
their opinions like affect you. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say you have this idea and you're trying to like ask. You know what I'm saying? And they try
I
to
get
change
you.
that.
I reckon that's pretty hard though. Imagine someone you really care about.
Oh,
You get what I mean? Parents and shit.
Oh, I learned this one thing with parents. Let's say I told parents about this one idea. Like I said like, oh, I want to start this shit. And like a lot of times they'd be like, oh, that's too unrealistic or like blah blah blah. But there was this one time I already did it already and it worked and like made some and like I didn't tell parents before that. Like I just did it without telling them. And then until I told them, like I was like, oh, I want to do this, and then they were like, oh, no, it's not gonna work. But I did,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
It's
And I
like
was
creating
but I
that
did.
fucking resume, yeah?
Yeah.
How
I was
did you start believing in yourself? Because I feel like you believe in yourself like quite like which is such a good thing.
Yeah.
How like was there anything that you can think of that?
I feel like I was once like not overcoming that fear,
Yeah.
but it came
How'd
to
you overcome it?
like I know sooner or later I'm gonna have to do it, so why not just do it now? Like
Think-
this is me.
Yeah,
Then what
yeah.
started it for you and I is having that one deep conversation with
Yeah.
like someone like you trust, like, and you inspire each other.
Yeah. What do you think stops other people from like taking the first step?
Not believing in yourself enough.
Is there anything else? So we got fear, and then we got like
People are
beliefs, people around you. Yeah. Is there anything else you can think of? that stops people?
For me, I don't have anything else.
What's stopping? Like, would you say you've took the first step yet
First step to what?
to going where you want to go?
I feel like I have took the first step.
You did that through like self-improvement and shit, yeah?
Yeah. But what I also found right now is that like right now I'm stagnant. I plateaued. Like I feel like I haven't gone anywhere. I feel like my motivation has like gone down. Like I feel like I'm at the same place where I was last week, a month ago.
Yeah.
You know? Like. And right now I'm not sure how to fix that.
Have you guys ever felt that?
Of course.
I know you felt that, and you've overcome that so many times as well. And I know I have as well.
But like,
what would you say is like
that also leads to the point we just talked about, like talking to the right people.
Yeah.
Like I was lucky enough to talk to the right person about that subject, and like I overcome it. You know, like whether it's like it idea and like you help me taking the first step, or it can be something else. You know what I'm saying?
You know, one other thing that's helped me, because for me, I didn't really talk to... Of course, I've talked to people about shit, but like, for me, it was like fucking... The thing that helped me was spontaneous shit, bro. I know I've talked to you about this shit too. Like, changing up your environment completely. Trying out, like, some new shit. Because for me, like, it helped me, like, kind of widen my perspectives.
Yeah, 100% agree on that. Like, you know how like the way we think right now is so it's like what we observe and like so far in life and like what we know, but I reckon if you put yourself, let's say, in a different country where everybody,
that's what I'm saying,
different people, different environment,
and if you can't
different
even
stuff.
If you can't go to a different country, you can fucking, there's many ways to change your
Different area.
environment. Different fucking friend groups as well. People think environment's like an actual location, bro. It's just different fucking situations.
Just think yourself, you're in this bubble. There's so many other bubbles. Just hop in this bubble and see how it is. And like, let's see if you can learn new things. You know. I reckon if you go to another country and like observe, or just like have like a open mind, you know, your beliefs and like, I don't know, just it will just like upgrade or change.
What's one thing you guys would want to learn like in the future? Like it could be with anything.
Bro, I want to edit crazy videos.
Mums.
Learn how to edit.
Bro,
Yeah, I've
editing,
seen some
bro,
crazy
it's
edits. I was
fucking
like, bro,
sexy.
how the fuck did he do that?
What do you want to
Mums.
learn?
Make money.
I don't know. Whatever interests me, I'll just learn.
But you know one thing that you said last week
What
fucking
was
really made me like
What did I say
interested
last
me
week?
crazy.
What did I say?
After the podcast, you know how I was telling you about how like I used to tell people to fucking get off their asses and do shit,
Yeah.
and how I said that I stopped doing that because like people just fucking start like, you know what I mean? Like people don't
People
understand.
don't want help. You can't
Yeah.
help,
But like one thing that you said was fucking, it made me like want to like keep doing that shit. Is you were saying how like it's not even your responsible like
Not your responsibility.
yeah, to even fucking try get them
Yeah.
to get up, and
Yeah.
like how you don't give a fuck and shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's not
I
your
know.
responsibility. Yeah.
Mm.
You know what? One
Maybe
thing I
that can
wanna
help
learn-
people to fucking
What's one
tell
thing you
people around them.
In my lifetime, I want to learn how to build a house from scratch.
From scratch.
Yeah. No, not by myself.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Like do everything. That's one thing.
Like just full land, plumbing.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool.
Mm.
Building a
Minecraft
dream
shit.
house.
Yeah. Like Minecraft
Bro, I
shit.
swear back then, playing Minecraft, bro, you know when you were like building a house? Bro, it felt so good, bro.
Yeah.
Just building houses.
You know you could build houses without fucking actually building it yourself.
What do you mean?
Like you just get fucking contractors.
Nah,
Like-
I want to do like the
No, no,
labor work, you
labor
know
work.
what I'm saying? Like I want to have the
Oh.
knowledge to
Yeah,
be able
knowing
to
how to.
yeah, knowing
Yeah,
how
yeah.
to.
Mm.
That would be one of my life's work.
See,
Really?
it also links to what we talked about before. Like,
So linking back.
If your head is like straight on money, you just want money. But if your head is like, oh, I want to know how to do this, it also links to money too.
Yeah.
So everything leads to money.
Everything can lead to money,
Money's just a
but it can also lead to happiness as well.
Yeah.
Money is a bonus. That's what
Yeah.
Do you feel ups and downs? Like, or is your life right now just constantly up
I think there's
in terms of mental health and whatever?
ups and downs, but like.
Like, do you feel
Really
shit
matter.
some days?
Yeah, I feel
I know,
shit
I
some
feel shit.
days. Oh, I think everyone does.
You feel
But
shit?
like, I wouldn't let it stop me.
Me, I think I need to take a shit.
You need what?
Just go, but make sure you bring the mic with you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you need to take a shit.
Yeah. Some days I do feel shit. So some days are worse than others, but it's how you get back up. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever tried to like fucking
Make yourself feel better.
Nah. Have you ever tried to like notice like how you get yourself
Into that.
back to your fucking prime?
Yeah.
How do you do that? What are some of your ways?
I just do it. I don't know.
You just do it.
Like, let's say, I don't know. So, I just come to the realization that like I still have to do what I have to do.
Hiding my phone.
Like, I don't know.
I get that.
But most people aren't like you.
Yeah.
And like what I would do,
But Rob wasn't like that as well. Fucking, he wasn't born like that.
but I
Yeah.
think you build yourself towards
I just
that.
restructured my
Yeah.
mental model like that. But like I understand when I have shit days, I still go to the gym, but I won't
Yeah.
put as much effort into the gym.
Facts.
But I'm still going to the gym.
Yeah.
So I still take that as like a fucking W.
Yeah.
W.
So like, even like I still do stuff that I have to do. Maybe like when I feel shit, it's like the
Ooh.
amount of effort I put in.
You kn-
But I'm still doing it, so I'm still going up from there.
You know what I think that is?
What?
You know, in Atomic Habits, how they were saying how to shape your identity, and the
Yeah.
things that you do, like, create your identity,
Yeah.
and how I think that's how you remodeled your shit.
Yeah. I like.
Like,
I
it's
can't-
like it's like for every time you went gym when you didn't feel like, even though like you didn't feel like it, for every time that you went gym, that's like a fucking point for you
Yeah.
to like kind of get you into that, like, into thinking that you're a person that goes gym fucking regardless.
And like the feeling afterwards.
I think
Like
people
today, I was running for 20 minutes. I was
Yeah.
actually dying because I upped the
feel
speed,
that.
and I was like, just imagine the feeling after.
Yeah.
And, like,
Always
it's-
think
it's
about
just
that
that.
shit.
And,
The
like,
feeling after
The
is
shit days that you go gym,
Yeah.
after you're like, holy fuck, Robert, I just did it. And
you
I'm like,
wonder
yeah, I
why
don't
you didn't
know.
want to go gym, yeah?
Yeah.
You're like just like, what the fuck? Like, why did I not want to go gym in the
Yeah.
first place? Yeah. I think that's something that can help people like remodel their mentals as well, in terms of discipline and all that shit.
I think that's number one.
Hey, the after feeling can apply to so many things.
Exactly. Every time you journal, every time you plan, every time you fucking like learn, read and all that shit, you become a reader, you become a person that plans their shit. I don't know. You guys want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually.
That was pretty good, but
Well, we can keep going. All right, guys. Thank you for watching our podcast and getting to the end.
look at the camera and smile.
Yeah. Would also really appreciate if you guys
Comment. Leave
Comment.
down the ideas, feedback.
like, subscribe, and transfer money into our accounts.
I think feedback is more important for us right now because
And money as well. Pay
And
ID.
money.
Pay ID 0434 639 855.
And it ran out, so I didn't buy a new one. So I'm not a loser.
Round of applause.
Yeah. Let's see how long it lasts.
But he just takes drags off me.
No, I didn't. You have physical proof on that? 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 You have physical proof on that?